Well, you were kinda wrong when you thought Frieza to be the monster who blows up planets for fun. Now, my friends, Frieza is the victim here. He's been misunderstood harder than you trying to explain to your girlfriend why you were cheating in her dream. Let me explain. First things first, what do we exactly know about him? He is basically the OG galactic landlord. Frieza wasn't just rolling around the universe for vibes. Nah, this guy was out here flipping planets like they were NFTs.
Yeah, boy.
He'd pull up, wipe out the population, slap a for sale sign on the rubble, and boom, instant profit. A real estate mogul, but like, make it genocidal. Now, here's the tea. Frieza was cooked up by Akira Toriyama during Japan's economic bubble in the 80s, inspired by shady real estate speculators who were snatching up properties left and right. Toriyama straight up called them the worst kind of people. So yeah, Frieza is basically your annoying landlord who keeps raising the rent, but instead of eviction notices, it's planetary extinction. Mood, right? Toriyama made Frieza even creepier by giving him super polite dialogue. Imagine someone saying, "Please die if you don't mind," while casually destroying your planet. Oh, and his name is a pun on freezer, which is why his crew has names like Cream, Butter, and Juice. My guy turned the Ginyu Force into a walking grocery list. And if you're wondering why Frieza's so petty, Toriyama low-key based him on his editor at the time. Yep, Frieza is literally a villain inspired by workplace drama. So he's not just evil, he's corporate evil with daddy issues. Iconic. Speaking of daddy issues, his dad was actually a monster. Frieza's backstory is straight up tragic and downright shocking. In the Dragon Ball Unguarded comic book, Frieza is a cute little frost demon baby living under the ultimate toxic parenting duo. Frieza as a baby was adorable, like you'd look at him and think, no way this little dude grows up to commit mass genocide. But that's where King Cold steps in, all like, nah, this kid's gonna be the next big thing in the destruction business. When Frieza was barely an hour old, King Cold looked down at his newborn son and asked, does he have any powers yet? Not, I'm gonna love and protect my son, but can this kid take on the family business? And instead of bonding with Frieza, Cold's like, we've got robots for that. Frieza's mom wasn't having it though. She wanted to do everything herself. Changing diapers, bedtime stories, the works, because she knew once King Cold got his claws on him, it was game over. But King Cold didn't care. He had an empire to run, and in his eyes, Frieza was his shiny new weapon. His training program was basically the Hunger Games where he'd drop Frieza on dangerous planets and say, figure it out. One time, Frieza had to negotiate with some alien creatures for resources, and when they weren't having it, they straight up beat him to a pulp. Did King Cold help? Nope, he just watched, probably sipping a martini. And when Frieza got backed into a corner, his instincts kicked in and he nuked the whole planet. A proud dad moment for King Cold, but for Frieza, trauma unlocked. That's when he actually started blowing planets up for fun. Meanwhile, Cooler was chilling, literally watching Saiyans fight each other like it was WWE and probably thinking, glad that's not me. If this story doesn't make you look at Frieza and think, damn, maybe therapy could have saved him, I don't know what will. But his toxic childhood isn't the only reason he blows up planets. It's just his business. The man laughs at people's suffering and basically rocks the intergalactic mafia boss vibe. But let me ask you this.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Have you ever met a villain who didn't have a PR problem? Because Frieza's villainy is really just a case of misunderstood management skills. He was a visionary leader. He wasn't destroying planets for fun. Okay, maybe sometimes, but mostly it was for profit and efficiency. Galactic real estate is a high-stakes market, people. Frieza's empire was built on turning unproductive planets into valuable resources. Sure, his methods were explosive, but let's not pretend the universe was a utopia before Frieza showed up. You had planets waging wars, species fighting over resources, and no galactic order. Frieza brought structure. Ruthless structure, sure, but structure nonetheless. Sometimes you need a strong hand to keep the chaos in check, like a galactic Marie Kondo, but with death beams. People act like Frieza woke up every morning thinking, whose day can I ruin today? But in reality, he was playing the role of the stern headmaster in a cosmic high school full of delinquents. And just like your old principal, people hated him not because he was wrong, but because he enforced the rules. But this principal was not acting entirely on his rules. There was this specific group of bullies in this intergalactic high school who were responsible for more destruction than even Frieza could handle. The Saiyans. The galaxy's equivalent of that rowdy group of kids who roll up to a party, trash the place, and then act like they're the heroes because they helped clean up after they broke everything. Let me break it to you gently. The Saiyans were intergalactic bullies. Oh, the Saiyans, those tail-wagging space gym bros who are basically the galaxy's worst Airbnb guests. These dudes roll up to planets, trash everything in sight, and then sell the wreckage. Saiyans weren't noble warriors. They were intergalactic Vikings with anger issues. Literally, they were conquering planets, enslaving populations, and selling planets to the highest bidder. Sound familiar? Yeah. Frieza didn't invent planetary conquest, he just perfected it. The Saiyans were reckless. Their reliance on the Uzuru transformation, triggered by a full moon, meant entire planets were wiped out in fits of uncontrollable rage. And they didn't care. They were like toddlers on a sugar high with flamethrowers, you know what I mean? Literally, Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta because he knew the Saiyans' unchecked aggression was a ticking time bomb for the entire galaxy. You can't blame a guy for taking out the trash when the trash was about to explode. Frieza was just the HOA president saying, enough is enough. Honestly, Frieza was doing the universe a favor. Someone gives the man a medal, or at least a thank you card. But even after dealing with the Saiyan problem, Frieza's troubles didn't end, because one Saiyan in particular decided to dedicate his life to making Frieza's job a living hell. Alright y'all, it's time to drag Goku and his squad. These guys act like they're the Avengers, but they've done more damage to the universe than Frieza ever could. Goku, the man's not a hero. He's just a fight addict looking for his next fix. He doesn't save the world because he cares. He does it because he's bored. If Goku had to choose between stopping Frieza and getting a good fight, he'd be like, can it be both? And the Z fighters, don't let their halos fool you. They've blown up more cities, caused more destruction, and broken more rules than Frieza ever did. At least Frieza has a business plan. Goku and friends are just winging it. And let's not forget their moral gymnastics. They forgave Vegeta, a literal planet destroyer. And even Boo, who ate entire civilizations. But Frieza? Nah, he doesn't get a redemption arc because he doesn't crack jokes and eat pudding. I mean, the dude literally saved Goku's life once, but still, he is just the monster. Why can't anyone understand my boy Frieza? Hypocrites, the lot of them. I mean, let's be real here. If you're willing to fight alongside the guy who literally spent years trying to murder you, you're either desperate or just maybe a low-key hero, or both. Yeah, I get it. It's not exactly the most noble collaboration, but it shows that deep down, Frieza's not beyond saving. I know. You're probably thinking, but he's destroyed entire planets. Yeah, he has, but he could change. He's got the potential. But was he smart enough to do it? Maybe. I mean, have you seen Goku? If Frieza had left the Saiyans alone, his whole empire would have turned into a Saiyan daycare in a couple of decades. So, was Frieza right to destroy Planet Vegeta? I'll leave that for you to decide. Let me know in the comments below who you think is the problematic villain in Dragon Ball, and don't forget to subscribe.